with Tina. She'll get you to speak. There's nothing like Time with Tina.
I remember the first time I experienced racism. I was about 7 years old. I was attending College Park Elementary School in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, a place where I hold very dear memories. And I remember being a little kid. They had a number of different playgrounds and play structures that you could play on. And I do remember having to cross kind of the playground. It seemed like a really large part of the land, but it really wasn't. It was just crossing the playground. And the grade 8 kids, the big kids of the school, were all in this circular motion. You know, they don't really play on the swings or the tire swings or the play structures at that age. I remember crossing across from them where they could see me. And all of a sudden, I remember all these big kids singing the following song. Dun 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 dun. Do you remember what that song is from? Because I knew what it was from. It was before Disney. Disney used to be on Sunday nights, and families would sit in front of their TV with the big rabbit antennas. But before that, there was a show called Wild Kingdom. It was all about animals in Africa and how they would attack one another and live in the primal land that they were in. And every time I would cross, they'd sing that song, the kids. And every time my friend, and I'm changing names, my friend Fred, who's black, would cross the playground, they'd sing that song. And every time Sadoko from Japan would cross, they would sing that song. And every time my friend Francis, who's Indigenous, would cross, they'd sing that song. I was 7, and I had really fond memories of Disney and that TV show. But I knew that it was only the kids of color that they sang that song to. And it was kind of the first time that I recognized that I was different and also felt like I didn't belong, that I didn't belong on that playground. It was hard because you're a little kid and all of a sudden you know you're different, and these kids are way bigger, and I don't really know where they learned that behavior to sing this song with the kids of color, which honestly, the kids of color were sporadic. There weren't that many at the school. But I knew that at that moment, I was pretty different from my other friends. I remember telling my older sister, who was in high school, she was in grade 9, that this was happening. And she kind of looked at me, and you could tell she was kind of upset, but she didn't want to scare her little sister. And so she said, well, you know, when you cross that playground, just when they start to sing that music, dance. Dun 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 dun. Even when I was 7, I knew this was ludicrous advice. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is what you want me to do? This is your sage advice as my older sister? Of course, the next day I cross that playground and they start singing the song. Did I start to dance? No, I was 7. But I was laughing. I was laughing on the inside. All of a sudden, just that simple, kind of silly advice made me laugh. And in essence, it allowed me to take my power back. I owned the power in that moment. They couldn't take myself. They couldn't take my identity because now I had it back. And interestingly enough, those that have heard me keynote, small audience, large audience, virtual or in person, know that there's 2 key elements to when I speak. Humor, which I find is a universal bridge. If we can laugh at something, we can live it, and dancing. So I really think that maybe painful memory somewhat became my origin story. And at the end of the day, Is it sad? Yeah, it is. Is it right? No, it's not. But it is my shared experience. Now, my experience isn't going to be the same as your experience. And why I encourage you to talk to your colleagues, talk to your neighbors, talk to your community, talk about your shared experiences, because some of you will have some that are very similar in their strength and vulnerability, and some won't have experienced what you have. But that's how we learn. That's how we grow. That's how we strive for a better tomorrow today. Thanks for watching.